Hey guys, what's going on? Go get it. We're still in the FA Cup. I was getting really worried there, but I knew we still had time to come back. Pretty disappointed in Bogdan, especially for the corner, the second goal. I don't know why he didn't punch it out. First goal, you know, he didn't really move on it, to be honest, so I gave him a small minus. I don't know which defender made the mistake either of not covering that spot where the pass would come through. But yeah, that cost us. So Bogdan, I'll start right off with him in my player rankings. Obviously was not that good at all for whatever he didn't really have many things to defend, and I'm glad they didn't get any shots on net aside from what they did. The corner was just ridiculous. So, you know, I don't even think I'm going to mark some of these guys today. Some because it was too hard for me to keep up. It was a very hard game to mark. I got markings for everyone though, but I don't know how accurate some of the markings are going to be, you know. So we'll see. But Bogdan, I mean, poor performance. That's his marking today. Very poor. Unacceptable. On to... quickly go through these guys. Randall, I had a minus, 4 positives, seemed alright out there, but I think he had a few more minuses I missed. To be quite honest, I thought he was Enrique sometimes, you know, or Enrique, however you pronounce his name. I might get some of the names wrong here, guys. I didn't have time to see how to pronounce them properly. But I gave him 4 positives, 1 minus. Seemed alright. I'll give him a 7. Having a pretty good game. Maybe a 7.5. Yeah, I have to at least, yeah, 7.5. A lot of guys might be like that today. Ilori, if that's how you pronounce it, he was all right. He had 4 positives, but he had some bad moments. He had 2 minuses. Did great things at times, but did silly things too. Gonna have to give him maybe like a 7, 6.5, 7. But it wasn't bad. Again, my 7.5 not good enough to be on the pitch level, doesn't really apply to today's game. I really didn't get it. It was hard to focus on these guys for marking them. Enrique, I got him for 2 positives, 2 minuses. You know, 7, maybe 6.5. Yeah, I didn't see much. Now I'd have to give him maybe like a 6. Yeah, I'll give him a 6 from what I saw. Smith was pretty good. Had 2 minuses, did a couple, kicked it into the crowd a couple times, but he was still pretty solid. He was still our energy in there, a good force of energy. Got him with 3 positives, including the goal. Just great that he was in there, quickly reacted, put it in with his left foot, nice and hard, effective. It was awesome. So, got to give him a decent marking. You know, because of the goal, I'll put him up to an 8. You know, he had an okay game, but that goal, I'm really boosting him maybe like a point, if not more, on that goal. Brannigan, I got him for a minus, 2 positives. I don't remember much. I don't know how to mark him. I'll be quite honest with you guys. I'll give him 6.5 from what I've seen. Same with Stewart. Positive, 2 positives, 1 minus. Same thing for Stewart. I'm going to skip Teixeira, obviously, because we got Teixeira in there today. Mega Teixeira fan over here. I got him for some things. In fact, well, I'll skip him. I'll come back to him. Kent, I got a positive. Got subbed for Trevela, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. All I got for Trevela was 1 huge minus. Can't remember what it was for. And 1 great positive, as he was the one who passed the ball to Ojo, who took a shot or like a pass/cross attempt that ricocheted to Smith. Smith got the goal. So I thought it was Teixeira in that spot because it was hard for me to see in this game. It wasn't a great feed either. Like the feed was okay, but the camera only picked up so much. So I missed some stuff there. So I thought it was Teixeira, so I was freaking out probably even more. We'll see how I edit that, or maybe I'll leave it in there for funny things. I'm not sure how I reacted. And but then I saw the replay after Trevela got it, so he gets a good plus there. I'll give him, honestly, that was a big minus. The positive just was a sensible thing to do. That's the only markings I have for him. Give him like a 6.5. Yeah. Kent, you covered. Sinclair with the goal. I didn't mark him for anything else, but he looked okay. My only criticism is maybe sometimes they could be coming back more to help out. We seemed very stretched out in this game. Like, it was a very... To jump over to one of my notes that I just was reminded of, we were giving up the ball too much. That's the note I got in there from the game. And we were not balanced. We were not as a cohesive unit because these guys have not played solid games together. That's just how it goes, right? So, all in all, you know, we got the draw, the comeback. They got the job done, I think, and it's Bogdan who kind of let us down today, in my opinion. So Sinclair, no real markings, to be quite honest, guys. I'll give him an 8, kind of like Brad Smith, only he's got no minuses, no positives. So I'll have to give Sinclair an 8. Maybe an 8.5 for his running, but I don't have anything else, being totally honest, so I'm going to keep it at an 8. On to Benteke. Benteke was all right. I had a note that he was running in the first half. He seemed okay. My dad's always criticizing him. I was getting critical of him. He did set us up for one thing, I think, in one of the goals. Got a great positive for that. All in all, I gave him 5 positives, no minuses. There might have been a few things. It was very minor things, if anything. I didn't really minus them. Am I going to give him a 10? See, that's the thing. Even if you have no minuses, you got to stand out to get that 10. I've got to be really... If I'm going to even dare to give out 10s easily, quote-unquote easily, or bust the scales, you know, I got to justify it. So, Benteke, 5 positives. My dad was saying he didn't get any shots on net, right? But he did get up there he did play. He was getting up in the air, trying. I'll give Benteke... I mean... I can't go past what Smith and Sinclair got for the goals. So Benteke gets, even with the positives, 7.8. I don't want to, slight edge. That's the best way to do it. Because they weren't major positives when I was marking them from Benteke. It's all I could mark. This is a very tough way to really give you guys something, eh? So on to Ojo. Very surprising. Was excellent. Only got 3 positives from him, but he was sensational. He got 1 great attempt on net. He set up what was the goal for Brad Smith off the ricochet, and another plus. I got to give him, he's getting an 8 with the other guys. 8 is kind of like my 10 for today. You know, my 9-10 area, because I don't have any markings. So Ojo was great. I want to see him play. What I liked about him is there was one opportunity I gave him a huge plus for where he created the whole thing out of nothing. We need guys like that. We need guys who can do that, you know, when the play is, you know, sort of dead, to make something happen, you know, or else the game's too readable, it's too predictable. You've got to be able to beat these guys on instinct, which he has. So I want to see him get in there too. Good to see him back. Teixeira. My last marking. Okay, obviously it was easier for me to spot Teixeira, especially in the first half, because he was on the same side of the pitch as the camera when it switches. He wasn't even in the camera angle half the time. It was like that for both sides, right? Obviously, I'm a huge Teixeira fan. I saw a few things where they weren't minuses, but they were definitely like, okay, this guy's human. You know, like I really like this guy to the point where, and I don't get to see him play, where it's hard to gauge how good he is right now and how he's going to develop. But I know he's really good. He's consistent in everything I've seen him in. And this game, I have him with no minuses. And I don't believe that's because I'm being biased towards him or anything. I got him with 9 positives. And the major positive I thought was him. So I have to take that away because it was actually Trivela for the pass to, which I thought was just smart to do. Teixeira was actually in the right spot, though. If you see on the replay, he was standing wide open just in case after if Smith had somehow got blocked. So, anyways, Teixeira was great. Got him with 9 positives. Do I give him man of the match without the goals? Like, that'll feel unfair. and people would, that might not make sense to everyone, especially the way I'm Mark and me being a huge Teixeira fan. I'm not even, I won't bust the scales on Teixeira either. And I'm not going to give him a 10, even though he could easily have deserved one. But I kind of have to give him in the 9. Like, he has no minuses, and I got him with 9 positives. I'm giving Teixeira a 9. Man of the match, it was not a great match from our guys. We had a lot of holes in it. To be honest, I felt that some of our guys were weaker and were losing the ball, whereas Teixeira, and not just Teixeira, but he's a good reference point for me from what I saw and from what I'm accustomed to. Those are more solid guys, so I don't know. Oddly enough, as I look too, the goals came from Smith and Sinclair and the action from Ojo, which was on the same side as, well, I think I had Teixeira on the same side. That might even be a mistake, guys. I didn't even get to see the lineups. I had to assume what they were going to be. So, you know what? Crazy time trying to make this review for you guys. That's about it for me. My man of the match, I don't know. I'm not gonna. They're equally Smith, Teixeira, and Sinclair, and even Ojo. It's kind of like 4, but Sinclair didn't get much action. Ojo was great. Yeah, it's a toss-up, guys. I'm not gonna pick one today because the other guys got the goals. But I would probably go with Teixeira. You know, he would be my man of the match. But I like those guys got goals. Got to give them the respect today as well. Got to give them an equal man of the match platform with Teixeira. So. As a team rating, I'm going to start doing this too. I would say overall, and because of Bogdan's going to knock us down hard in this ranking, we were about a 6. You know, our guys were trying. If Bogdan hadn't screwed up that corner, first one I'll let it go, but the corner, unacceptable. You know, we could have gone on and won the game from there. Who knows? We'll never know, but we came back, drew. So yeah, the team was all right. Probably would have given them like an 8. Who knows what game it could have been. But thankfully we're still in the FA Cup. Guys, that's all I got. I'm not even going to go into next game stuff or whatever. Or I got the review for you guys. I got to go to work in a few hours. I got to eat still. Like, it's crazy trying to keep this going for you guys. But I'm on a roll. I'm able to do it. So thanks guys for watching. Take care and go get it.